hot off the international comedy circuit, Dalin Oliver is continuing with his latest one-man show, 90-Day Comedian, until the 30th of November 2024. The 75-minute show will certainly be filled with laughter as it takes us on a journey that explores identity, cultural politics, and what it means to be proudly South African in a world that knows little about our nation's rich diversity and history. Well, this morning he joins us now virtually to share more on the tour. Dalin, very good morning, man. Good to see you again. How's it been?
What's happening, brother? Long time. Happy Sunday. Like I said, good to be here. And thank you so much for always showing love.
It's an absolute pleasure, man. Now, I just mentioned the tour. It started out in October already. How has the season been?
It's been going well. So, bigger picture with 90-Day Comedian, that's the name of my show. I needed a title for the show when I went to Melbourne Fringe in Australia, and they gave us a 3-month working visa. I was thinking 90-Day Comedian, 90-Day Fiance. Let's make it happen. If I'm not funny in 3 months, they either chuck me out or someone needs to adopt me. And it's been a year on the road with the show. I've performed, fortunately, been very privileged to perform in 7 countries and 18 cities, coming home to South Africa, running it through Makanda International Arts Festival. Show won an award there, and then Johannesburg, Durban, Gqeberha, and now wrapping it up in my hometown, Cape Town. It's a celebration of being proudly South African, bro. A lot of people don't know how amazing South Africa is. I genuinely think we are the world's best kept secret, and we are the X factor that every part of the world needs just to make them a better place and to make them more lekker. It must just be lekker.
Indeed, indeed. And I did mention that, you'll be exploring identity and cultural politics. That's very fascinating. And what elements of South Africa's identity and cultural politics that you're focusing on? And, how will you be delivering that kind of set?
Yeah, so when traveling with the show, the first thing you realize is a lot of the world doesn't know our immediate politics. So if we're lucky, they'll know the late Nelson Mandela, one of our heroes. If we're lucky, they'll know the Springboks. If we're lucky, they'll know Benny McCarthy, they'll know Tyler, they'll know Black Coffee, they'll know Driekus du Plessis, etc., etc., etc.
Or maybe asking our questions whether we keep giraffes and elephants in our backyard.
Yeah, that's still the thing. That's still the thing. A lot of them who haven't visited our country still think there's livestock roaming around. There's wildlife roaming around. So you've got to break it down in layers to them. And I always use this very playful line because we also have to be charming. You see, in South Africa, we're very honest with our history. We speak openly about it. Yes, it's painful. Yes, we know pre-94. But we also make sure that our past makes us extremely strong going forward. We take the Springboks stronger together, stronger forever, right? So I would always tease and I'd go, the reason I'm this light-skinned, but I'm a colored person in South Africa and a brown person in the world is because of something called Dutch and British tourism. You frame it as tourism just to make them feel a bit more comfortable. And then from there, you can start easing into things. Just because they don't have a starting canvas, they don't have a starting point. We're so well read and well aware back home when it comes to our history and the world's history. We expect and assume that the rest of the world is as well read about us. But in my travels, I found out that's not the case. So it's been exciting giving them a window into our beautiful country without stereotyping.
Yeah, of course.
By celebrating how amazing we are.
Yeah, and of course we always celebrate our humor because South Africa is the most humorous nation, well, arguably the most humorous nation in the world. So how has it been presenting to an international audience compared to how the local audience consumes your craft? So
first up, I definitely think that we are one of the most humorous nations. We all traumatized somehow or the other. And because of that trauma, we have to laugh. It's in our blood. But also we grow up in funny households, in funny communities with funny aunties, funny uncles, funny cousins. So it's naturally in our blood. Even when we laugh as an audience, South African audiences are the best laughers. We're physical laughers. We get involved with the person next to us when we laugh. We know that for that 2 hours, we're going to have an amazing time. Whereas I felt with my travels, if it was UK, Australia, or Europe, the laughing rhythm was ha 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 ha. Sometimes you want to say, hey, just loosen up, man. Come on, guys. There's nothing wrong with loosening up. But with the show, you only once you're in the country or the city do you learn how to perform to their audiences. Because with South Africa, we're so diverse. We're the most diverse nation on the planet, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And with that comes many accents. There's no one South African accent. So when they sing you for the first time and they're hearing you for the first time, this might be the first time they're exposed to this South African accent, an accent that they've never heard. So now they're listening. And then with that, South African English is not the English that the world speaks. We've got beautiful English in our country.
Yeah,
but
we've got our
sometimes
own
we don't
English,
even
eh?
understand each other, right? So you learn that language
Yeah.
is such a
Dalin,
crucial tool.
Unfortunately,
in
man,
breaking
we're
a
out of
barrier.
time. But you're ending the show off in Cape Town. Just share more details about where else the show will be taking place.
For sure, 19 to 30 November, I'm at the Artscape, wrapping up my tour of 90-Day Comedian. Thanks to you guys, thanks to Cape Town, Joburg, South Africa for always being amazing. Appreciate your Morning Live, fam.
All right, Dalin, lovely chatting to you, man. And you know, the last time you were here, you and I decided to start on a journey to grow our hair. I see you coming nicely there.
Top scenes. Downhill, brother.
All right, all the best, man. Thank you. Oh, we just spoke to South African comedian
Thank
Dalin
you.
Oliver on his international award-winning stand-up comedy show, 90-Day Comedian.